14:58 AM and DAB. Celebrating 9 glorious years of broadcasting excellence. This is Leica Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 9, the Leader of the House of Commons insists a deal on the Northern Ireland Protocol is still looking optimistic, but admits we're not there yet. There's speculation an agreement over post-Brexit trading arrangements could be announced early next week. Rishi Sunak held talks with EU leaders yesterday. It's understood the Northern Ireland Protocol could be dropped, allowing the UK to rip up parts of the Brexit treaty and ignore EU rules. Penny Mordaunt says talks are still ongoing, though.
There is still hard work to be done, and what matters here, and the Prime Minister is very focused on this, is what the people of Northern Ireland think about this deal. This has to be acceptable to all communities.
The EU is looking into ways countries can work together to buy ammunition for Ukraine almost a year on from Russia's invasion. Yesterday, Rishi Sunak urged world leaders to double down on military assistance. A UK-based broadcaster has moved to Washington, D.C. following warnings that its staff face imminent and credible threats from Tehran. Iran International TV says it's reluctantly closed its West London studios. In sport, James Anderson swept aside the New Zealand batting lineup as England's cricketers raced to a 267-run victory on day 4 of the first test. Having become the sport's most prolific test bowling partnership of all time, Anderson and Stuart Broad added to their tally with 4 wickets each in the innings. Captain Ben Stokes says they're inspirational.
Look at what they do when they've got the ball in their hand and how many games that they have won for England and probably will do going forward. They're setting a great example not only for us in the dressing room, but I think for just anyone who wants to look at having a long career in professional sport.
Elsewhere, Chelsea manager Graham Potter has insisted the club's poor performance isn't all his fault, following their 1-0 defeat to Southampton in the Premier League. And Newcastle goalkeeper Nick Pert will miss next week's League Cup final after he was sent off in their 2-0 defeat to Liverpool. Loris Karius is expected to replace him for his first match in 2 years. That's the latest. I'm Daryl Jackson.
At Lidl, we're always little on price. That doesn't mean sometimes or for a bit. It means we always make our prices little. And with promotions like Pick of the Week, they're sometimes even littler. On everything from humble spuds to British roasts to cheeky chilies. From little treats to big shops, we're big on quality and always little on price. Subject to availability, selected stores excludes NI.
Winner of Radio Station of the Year at the Asian Media Awards 2022.
Leica Radio, London.
Leica Radio weather.
Today's weather, sun intervals and gentle breeze in London and surrounding areas. Top temperature 13 centigrade. Sunset is at 5:22 p.m.
Leica Radio. Leica Radio.
Flight updates are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Flights, hotels and holidays.
Let's go for a flight update. All flights are as scheduled, but please check with your flight operators before heading to the airport.
Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Talking Points with Keith Vaz. Celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Leica Radio.
Good morning and welcome to the 148th edition of Talking Points on Leica Radio with me, Keith Vaz. Thank you, Priyanka, for a great show. For those celebrating this important religious festival, happy Maha Shivaratri. I send my warm wishes on this very special occasion. Our deepest condolences to our colleague Kamlesh Savalia, whose father Shantilal passed away last week. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. May his soul and his being rest in peace. Let's go round the world to see what are the top stories of this week. First of all, do you recognize this woman?
Some people look at America and see vulnerability. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels.
Well, in 18 months' time, she may well be the most powerful woman in the world. The most powerful person in the world, in fact, if she wins the US presidential election, and she'll be the first woman of Indian origin to reach that incredible height. Nikki Haley, the first candidate to challenge Donald Trump for the Republican presidential nomination, launched her campaign in Charleston on Wednesday. She said that our best days are yet to come. A former South Carolina governor and a UN ambassador, she is already trending on Twitter. Another woman has been in the news, well, all over the news. Nicola Sturgeon has announced that she'll be standing down after 8 years as the First Minister of Scotland, telling a press conference that the time is now. Following the New Zealand Prime Minister, she's had enough, apparently. She's the longest serving and first female First Minister ever in the history of Scotland. Amongst the candidates to succeed her are Humza Yousaf, the current Health Minister. Some of you will recall that last December I interviewed one of the young men who was part of that very famous group of 13 Thai citizens who were trapped in a cave a few years ago. We still do not know the cause of the sudden death of Dom at the football academy that he was attending in Britain, but it is a story that is got a very sad ending. After this astonishing saga of the Thai boys rescued from the cave, which became an inspiration to so many, this is a very sad ending. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Who invented the piano? The piano was invented by Bartolomeo Cristofori in Italy. Cristofori was unsatisfied by the lack of control that musicians had over the volume level of the harpsichord. He is credited for switching out the plucking mechanism with a hammer to create the modern piano in around the year 1700. So the mighty piano is 323 years old. On the programme today, we'll be going over to central London and joining Sheena Bathiza, an actress, founder of an online travel magazine. She's also in charge of PR at the Mandeville Hotel. She did something very special this week. She was at Windsor Castle meeting the King and watching her father received an OBE. What a very special day. We will be the fly on the wall as we hear from Sheena about that historic event. From central London, we'll be going to West London to hear from my second special guest on the programme today. It's Alpesh Patel, the developer of Hasu Biotech RT-PCR COVID tests and the founder of the Hasu group of companies. He's one of the COVID heroes for providing so many tests for people when they travel out of Heathrow Airport. He's had more than 22 years experience in the biotech and healthcare technology field, as well as in product developments and innovations. We'll be talking, therefore, to an inventor. But before all that, let's hear some music.
मुंह से सीटी बजे हाथ से ताली लड़की देखी मुंह से सीटी बजे हाथ से ताली साला आइला उस्मा आएगा पोरी आले आले मैं खिलाड़ी तू अनाड़ी मैं अनाड़ी तू खिलाड़ी मैं खिलाड़ी तू अनाड़ी मैं अनाड़ी तू शराबी होश उड़ा ले जाए उस लड़की है या है कयामत दिल से निकले आए सोते जगते लड़की देखो दिल धक 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 धड़के देखो फड़के आंख मेरी तन में शोला सा भड़के लड़की लड़की करते करते हो न जाए दीवाने ऐसा ना हो जाए कि हम खुद को ही ना पहचाने और मेरा जब भी होता है कभी न जाए खाली हर ताले की रखता हूँ मैं अपनी जेब में चाबी लड़की देखी मुझसे सीधी बजे हाथ से ताली लड़की देखी मुझसे सीधी बजे हाथ से ताली साला आइला उस्मा आएगा पोरी आले आले
आपको क्या लगा हम भूल गए
हम दोनों हैं अलग अलग हम दोनों हैं जुदा जुदा एक दूसरे से कभी कभी रहते हैं हम खबा खबा
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. An Order of the British Empire, an OBE, is one of the highest honours that can be bestowed upon someone within the Commonwealth. And Vinu Bhathisa was awarded this great honour during the Queen's Birthday Honours in 2022 for his charitable and voluntary service, particularly during COVID-19. He collected his honour this week, in fact, on the 14th of February, from the King, no lesser person, at a ceremony at Windsor Castle. You're allowed to take a couple of members of your family with you, and my next guest is his daughter. We've often talked to people who've won honours, but we've not talked to the family members who accompany them. She's an actress, the founder of an online travel magazine, and she runs the public relations for the family's hotel, the Mandeville Hotel in Marylebone. She joins us this morning from central London. Good morning, Sheena Bhathisa.
Good morning, Keith. Lovely to be here.
Now, this must have been one of those days that you and the family will never forget. But I want to wind back just for one moment to when you were first told that your dad was being honoured in this way. Were you surprised? Was it a feeling of elation? Because, of course, all dads are heroes to their daughters. How did you feel when you first found out that he was going to get honoured in this way?
I mean, we were all absolutely thrilled. It's a surprise in that you don't know it's coming, but it's not a surprise in that it's deserved. And he definitely deserves and deserved it. Yes, of course, all fathers are heroes. But he really worked hard for this, and we were all absolutely thrilled for him and my mother that, he's being commended in such an honourable way. And it was in the last Queen's Honours list while she was still living. So it was a huge honour last year, yeah.
Many of our listeners may well have received an award, but I want to talk to you in terms of what happened through your eyes as a relative, watching someone who you love very much going up to the King of England and getting his award. What was the atmosphere like in Windsor Castle? Had you been before? And what's the room like? What do people do when they get into that room?
So it was actually on Valentine's Day, so this is a whole other kind of Valentine's Day. You're up bright and early at 6 in the morning. We need to be there by 9 o'clock. It was incredible. It was very calm, but it was electric at the same time, if that's even possible. So it was quite an unusual atmosphere. You arrive at these really grand gates with lots of guards and police officers. I mean, there's like 30 of them, which can be quite intimidating, but of course they have to have ample security. And they wait till you have an arrival time, and they wait till everybody arrives, and then they do their checks. You have the invitation cards, they do passport checks, and then you drive in this beautiful long driveway going up to Windsor Castle. And on the 14th morning it was particularly foggy and misty. I mean, the castle's steeped in history, so you feel like you're back in the 18th century or something, because it's so majestic and so historical. You walk in and the entire Windsor Castle team is so incredibly welcoming. They're so congratulatory to my father and us as his family, and to everybody else that was there getting honours. And they're really making everybody feel very special.
You went with your mum, Sudha, and you went with your sister, Rena. It was a choice. Of course, you can only take 3 people with you for these kinds of honours. How did you all coordinate your dresses or saris? Tell me, did you all have a conversation beforehand? Because it's very interesting that when the royals go out, they coordinate the colours of the outfits they're wearing. Did you all have a conversation, or did you just wear whatever you thought was appropriate on the day?
I don't think we were as well planned as that, because my parents only landed in India 2 days before. I landed back in the country 48 hours before. My sister and my mother wore beautiful saris, because you either wear a dress and a hat or a fascinator as the preference, or traditional attire, so they wore saris. I wore a dress because I'm very heavily pregnant, so I wasn't going to fit into a sari. But they coordinated beautifully and looked spectacular in their saris, and everybody, appreciated it and commented on it. So It looked lovely. We were very proud to walk in as British Indian citizens, wearing their saris and receiving the award.
Hold that thought. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a fascinating conversation about what happened on Tuesday when Sheena Bathisa's dad got his OBE from the King of the United Kingdom. Join us after the break.
Unleaded.
Amsterdam to magai baliye navi cheez kitiyan try baliye oh hun munda karuga phalai baliye oh ek tera gabbaru hai baliye te tujhe oda nichd dabai baliye ne dekh tere jatt di chadai baliye ho tak bhol mitra ne pai baliye oh ungala te duniya ne chai baliye ho gid de do ne dai baliye ho dekh tere jatt di chadai baliye ning 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 ਚੱਲਦਾ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਦੇਖ ਡਾਲਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਥਾਂ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਓਏ ਜਬੂਰ ਜੱਟ ਨੇ ਉਡਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੀ ਲਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਨਿਕਾਰ ਨਵੀਂ ਕੱਲ ਹੀ ਕਢਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਨੀ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ 90 ਤੇ ਚੜਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਦੇਖ ਵੇਲ ਤੇ ਡੁਬਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਨੀ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਰੇ ਜੱਟ ਦੀ ਚੜਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਤੱਕ ਭੁੱਲ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਉਂਗਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨਚਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਰੇ ਜੱਟ ਦੀ ਚੜਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਇੱਕ ਦੇਖ ਯਾਰਾ ਦਾ ਟ੍ਰਿਪ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਦੂਜਾ ਦੇਖ ਮੂਡ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਿੱਕ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਨੀ ਕੰਮ ਅੱਜ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਫਰਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਕੰਮ ਸੱਚੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਫਰਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਗੱਪ ਕਹਿਣ ਜੈਸੇ ਨੇ ਬਣਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਤੇ ਅੱਤ ਜੰਗ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਨੇ ਗਰਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਨੀ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਰੇ ਜੱਟ ਦੀ ਚੜਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਤੱਕ ਫੁੱਲ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਉਂਗਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨਚਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ ਓ ਦੇਖ ਤੇਰੇ ਜੱਟ ਦੀ ਚੜਾਈ ਬੱਲੀਏ
London's biggest station hits. Leica Radio.
Celebrating 9 glorious years of Leica Radio with Cool Cakes Bakery. Cakes for any occasion. Order online at coolcakes.uk or in store across London.
Haldiram brings you the most loved Indian sweets which are freshly made in UK. Now order your favorite Haldiram products online only on haldiramuk.com. Also available at your local Asian store at super special prices.
MantraHolidays.co.uk presents 2023 Travel Destination Catalogue. UK day trips from £30 per person. Destinations include Isle of Wight, Bournemouth, Durdledore, among others. With private coach hire available. Call 020 3773 6333. That's 020 3773 6333. MantraHolidays.co.uk.
The one thing COVID did give us, digital transformation. If you're serious about digital growth and would like a tactical approach to your digital marketing, then remember the name Harty Hanks. With over 20 years experience and a proven track record, we have the talent and know-how to deliver online success. Harty Hanks, experts in consultancy, branding, design, e-commerce, search and social. Call Harty Hanks today on 020 8827 1600 or visit hhdigital.uk. Harty Hanks, your partners for digital success.
This is a message for every household in the UK. Everyone is entitled to government help with the cost of living. At gov.uk/help for households, you'll find over 40 different support schemes in one place. From help with energy bills to childcare costs, housing, transport, and more. Help is available now for every household. See what you're eligible for at gov.uk/help for households.
गए दौर का, नए दौर का और हर दौर का संगीत लेकर आ रहे हैं लेजेंडरी संगीतकार कल्याण जी आनंद जी की जोड़ी के आनंद जी वीर जी शाह। साथ में आएंगे नितिन मुकेश, साधना सरगम, सपना मुखर्जी, वैभव नयन, म्यूजिशियंस की पूरी टीम के साथ कलाकारों का मेला। ट्विंकल एंटरटेनमेंट की सुरीली पेशकश संडे 16 अप्रैल को द ओवो वेम्बली अरीना में। टिकट्स फ्रॉम बॉक्स ऑफिस एंड वीडियोरामा। फॉर फर्दर इंफॉर्मेशन कॉन्टैक्ट ट्विंकल एंटरटेनमेंट ऑन 07401 747 062।
जब बात फैमिली पे आए तो डिस्कशन नहीं करते, एक्शन करते।
Shehzada, starring Karthik Aryan, Kriti Sanon, Paresh Rawal, Manisha Koirala, Ronit Roy, Rajpal Yadav and many more.
मुंडा सोना मैं कुड़ी तू करोड़ दी, तेरे लिए मैंने पहली वाली छोड़ दी.
Now showing at a cinema near you.
तुम जिद्दल परिवार के शहजादे हो, असली शहजादे.
Deciding to do something about my varicose veins, I can honestly say was life-changing. Deciding I wasn't going to put up with the aches and pains or feeling self-conscious. Vein Centre have clinics all over the UK, offering modern treatments for varicose and thread veins. I was in and out the same day, and even back to work the following day. It's so good to finally feel confident, happy and healthy in my skin. Visit veincentre.com today.
We just do veins.
सुनो, मेहमान आने वाले हैं और चाय के साथ सर्व करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है।
मैं अभी नजदीकी स्टोर से जैमिन के स्नैक्स लाता हूँ।
जैमिन फूड्स, the ethnic taste of India, लेकर आए हैं खाखरा, चिक्कीज, सोन पापड़ी, रोस्टेड चना, पिकल, पापड़ और ढेरों authentic Indian snacks.
Now available in selected Sainsbury's and Asian grocers near you.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm talking to Sheena Bathiza, actress, founder of Citizen Femme, a travel and style guide for globe-trotting women, and she's in charge of public relations for the Mandeville Hotel in central London. Sheena, your dad's name was called out. There were lots of people's names. Did you recognise any of the other famous names who'd got honours on that day?
There were only 80 people being awarded on this day, and, you know, small groups were put in different rooms, so we didn't recognise everybody, but we were given a booklet with the order of service and when anybody was called in. And we spoke to a handful of people, and such interesting reasons and contributions to society for people getting the awards. So we got to meet a handful of them in the room that we were in, but everyone was, you know, with their families and enjoying the atmosphere themselves as well. And we were in these rooms with busts on the walls and pictures of Queen Victoria. So you're you know, enamoured by the room in which you're in and just taking it all in.
And was there anything to eat, by the way, before or after?
No, there wasn't.
So it wasn't a traditional Indian affair where you had a snack. Now, after your dad went up to the king, because of course you never know whether it's going to be the king, King Charles III, or Prince William or Princess Anne, but it was obviously going to be a senior royal. You got there, it was the king. Obviously, after he got it and you were watching and you spoke to him afterwards, what did the king say to your dad, or what did your dad say to the king? Did you ask him?
Yeah, of course. I mean, before you even get there, you walk in, you take a few steps, you bow, you walk up towards the king, and then he speaks to you, and then shakes your hand, you take a few steps back, bow again, and then walk off with your family. So we're watching all of this, and it's quite emotional, actually, because it's very intimate. They're having a beautiful string quartet playing in the corner. You can see out the window the misty morning and out Windsor Castle out the window. So it's really, really beautiful. He spoke for quite a while with my father. He put his hands together to say namaste.
Oh, really?
Lovely. He did. And we know he's a fan of the Indian culture. He's actually been to the Swaminarayan Mandir in London several times, and he's been to Akshardham in Delhi, so he remembered it. They spoke about that.
Really?
He asked my father about it and his contribution, and he remembered his visits and all of that, and he also spoke about the Shakespeare Festival at the Penny Manor, which was the other family hotel.
Yeah.
So they had a nice conversation about that.
And afterwards, of course, you can take your photographs with the background of Windsor Castle, but you then get an official photograph, don't you? Because are you allowed to use your mobile phone? Can you do a selfie in the middle of the ceremony, or is that strictly forbidden?
No, I wish we could. Can you imagine what a superb picture that would be? Just all of you ducking in with a selfie with King Charles. That would be such a brilliant picture. No, you're not allowed to use a picture inside the castle at all. So your phones are off or away or in the cloakroom. And then when you come out of the room, then you can use your phone to take pictures. They have professional photography. Then you get sent the pictures from inside the room when you're getting your award. Before this, actually, it's really interesting. Before you're going into the waiting room, so to speak, for the recipients, they put a little hook on either your suit or your blouse or whatever you're wearing, which is where the king then hooks the honour on your lapel. And then you take pictures outside the castle.
Yeah, Sheena Bathiza, you're a famous actress. You've done so much in your life. You've met so many famous people. But this particular moment will stick with you, won't it, for the rest of your life? There'll never be a moment like this in respect of your dad and what he has achieved. What message do you have for your dad today?
I think he set a really wonderful example. He's really well respected for the work that he's done. And it's a message for both my parents, because it's an award for my father, but certainly for my mother as well, and all the support. And for anyone who's won an award, for the family and partners that have supported them to achieve these successes. So the message is a huge congratulations, and we're all very proud of the both of you.
Sheena, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations again to Vinu Bathiza on his OBE, a great award for an incredible lifetime of service. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something special to them and to dedicate it to someone special. Which song would you like to choose, and to whom would you like to dedicate it to?
So it will be dedicated to my father and my mother. It's a Hindi song, excuse my Hindi, but it's 100 saal pehle mujhe tumse pyar.
Sheena Bathiza, thank you for joining us on Leica Radio and sharing these very special moments with us. The way you described it, we all felt we were in Windsor Castle with you on Tuesday.
I wish you all were.
Let's hear Sheena Bathiza's song.
100 साल पहले मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहेगा।
सदियों से तुझसे मिलने जिया बेकरार था, जिया बेकरार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहेगा।
100 साल पहले मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहेगा। मेरी जान निकल जाती है, तुम हंसती रहती हो तो एक बिजली सी चमक जाती है। तुम रूठा ना करो, मेरी जान निकल जाती है, तुम हंसती रहती हो तो एक बिजली सी चमक जाती है। मुझे जीत जी ओ दिल भर तेरा इंतजार था, तेरा इंतजार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहेगा।
सदियों से तुझसे मिलने जिया बेकरार था, जिया बेकरार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहेगा।
मुझे तुमसे प्यार था आज भी है आज कल भी रहे
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Leica. Time checks are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Our lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com or call 0207 580 5000.
Leica Radio.
Traffic and travel.
I'm Michael Page. In Elstree, the A41 Northwestern Avenue remains closed both ways because of a burst water main between the Esso roundabout and Elstree Road. In West London, in North Acton, the A40 Western Avenue still down to one lane heading out of town at Gypsy Corner because of emergency repairs. And in East London at Plaistow, the A124 Barking Road is still closed both ways because of an accident between Balham Street and Alexandra Street. On the train, Southeastern services are back on the move now, but with delays and cancellations between Swanley and Gillingham and Strood and Maidstone West following earlier signalling problems. And the Heathrow Express has a reduced service between Paddington and Heathrow Airport because of the shortage of staff. And that's the latest traffic and travel.
Money Super 7, pay attention. Britain is feeling the pinch now more than ever. So what are we doing to help?
I could save people up to £330 on their car insurance.
Impressive, you are paying attention. Now let's keep finding more ways to help people. And together we can save Britain some serious money.
Super Save with Money's Supermarket today. 51% of consumers could save up to £330.40. Consumer Intelligence, August 2022, UK only.
This is Leica Radio. Celebrating 9 glorious years of Leica Radio with Cool Cakes Bakery. Cakes for any occasion. Order online at coolcakes.uk or in store across London.
सस्ती से सस्ती फ्लाइट्स और हॉलिडे पैकेज चाहिए तो 24 घंटे 7 दिन किसी भी समय ट्रैवल हब का नंबर मिलाइए फॉर क्रूज टेलर मेड हॉलिडे होटल बुकिंग्स एंड हनीमून पैकेजेस हमसे सस्ता कहीं नहीं मिल सकता कॉल ट्रैवल हब 24/7 ऑन 0208-782-8833 और विजिट travelhubltd.co.uk.
Travel Hub, best service with unbeatable price.
At all protected.
Visit travelhubltd.co.uk.
Hi, my name is Mariam. I have used a wheelchair for about 9 years. I don't know where I would be without my amazing care worker, Jessica. Every day at home, she helps me feel more and more like myself and like I have control of my life.
My name's Jessica and I love my job working with Mariam. Every day is different. You're there for support, not just physically but mentally as well. It's a really fulfilling job and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Search Care Careers now for a job made with understanding, made with teamwork, made with care.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavours with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
Oh my goodness! The Kapoors are back in another smash hit theatre production with Mrs. Kapoor's Daughter's Wedding 2, Mauritius. It's overflowing with comedy, singing, dancing and all. It's the must-attend show of the year. Touring the UK to London, Manchester, Leicester, Bradford and Birmingham. Don't miss out. Book your tickets now at mkdw.co.uk.
Let's face it, photo IDs are a pain.
3, 2, 1.
But in future elections, you'll need one to vote. A passport, a driving license, a freedom pass. They'll all do. Or you can apply online for a free voter authority certificate.
That's better.
Visit registertovote.london. Remember, no photo ID, no vote. And no vote, no voice.
इस साल बहुत सारे बच्चे पिछले सालों की निस्बत सांस की तकलीफ से जुड़ी बीमारियों और स्ट्रेप ए का ज्यादा शिकार हो रहे हैं। अगरचे ये इन्फेक्शंस आमतौर पर माइल्ड और आसानी से इलाज के काबिल होते हैं, लेकिन कुछ सीरियस भी हो सकते हैं। आपके लिए जरूरी है कि आप इस बात का खास तौर पर ख्याल रखें कि कब आपके बच्चे को मेडिकल हेल्प की जरूरत है। इस उपलक्ष्य में बनाडूस बहुत सारी जुबानों में आपको जानकारी और गाइडेंस उपलब्ध कराते हैं कि सांस की तकलीफ से जुड़े इन्फेक्शंस या स्ट्रेप ए की सूरत में आप घर में बच्चों का ध्यान कैसे रख सकते हैं और कब और कहां से मदद ले सकते हैं। इस विषय में और ऐसी दूसरी सुविधाओं की जानकारी के लिए विजिट families.banados.org.uk/health।
Leica Mobile is offering National Plus Bundle. Get 20 gigabytes of data, unlimited UK minutes and text, and 100 international minutes to call India, USA, Canada, and many more Asian and EU countries. EU roaming included for just £10 for the next 30 days. Please visit leicamobile.co.uk to buy yours today. Terms and conditions apply. Leica Mobile.
There's help for households. If you've reached state pension age and your weekly income is below £182.60 or £278.70 if you live with a partner, you could be eligible for pension credit, even if you own your home or have savings. If you're eligible, that's worth £3,500 a year on average, and you can get help with heating bills, council tax and more, plus up to £900 in cost of living payments. Search pension credit or call 0800 99 1234. Qualifying income level may be higher in some circumstances.
Radio Wally.
Come and join me on the roller coaster every Monday to Friday evening from 7 till 10, where we go on a journey of music, musty and madness, an hour for your 90s at night, as well as those noughties at night. Every weekday evening from 7 o'clock on Leica Radio. Mucho piar.
Radio Wally. Talking Points with Keith Vaz. Celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. From Windsor Castle, let's go over to West London. My next guest on the programme is the developer of Hasu Biotech RT-PCR COVID tests, Dr. Alpesh Patel, founder of the Hasu Group of Companies. He completed his MS from the University of Baroda, India, and his postdoctorate from Imperial College, London. He's got over 22 years of experience in the biotech and healthcare technology industries. He's a philanthropist helping local schools, government hospitals, poor and disadvantaged people in India. During the peak of the COVID pandemic, he provided large supplies of oxygen concentrators to India. He's so far got 8 patents and conducted breakthrough research in gene therapy. Let's go over to West London and talk to Dr. Alpesh Patel. Good morning, Dr. Patel.
Good morning, Keith and listeners of Leica Radio.
Alpesh, are you glad that the COVID pandemic is finally over? Or is it over? Is it still lurking around?
It is still lurking around in some part of the world, but I hope that it will end soon, and the WHO will put it as not a pandemic. So that's I'm hoping.
Because it's been a very busy time, hasn't it, for the innovations in technology? I mean, your surgery and the work that you do over in West London must have been incredibly busy during the COVID period. Do you think any lessons can be learned from that period? I know it's not on the political agenda at the moment, but do you think any lessons can be learned?
Yes, it was incredibly busy, and we first time learned that how this can affect, because in the past when we were not that developed, we didn't know, like in the past 1920 Spanish flu erupted, but now the world is around, so we are more aware about the diseases. So COVID pandemic teaches that nature does have control and it can stop us to any extent if it goes against us. That is one thing. The second lesson we learn, we also must to prepare globally disease surveillance and control measures collectively and effectively, not limited to one region or specific countries.
I mean, one of the things that your practice did, and the hub that you had near Heathrow Airport, is you did a lot of tests for people before they flew out of the country, or indeed when they arrived in the country. Can you work out how many tests, roughly, this is just a rough estimate, at the height of the COVID pandemic, how many tests your particular hub had to undertake?
So the test is not only just number, but we have to go and back forth with many times, like at least 4 times. So patient comes, report, give the sample, then we send them the kit, or they come to the center, and then we send the report to their email or their home address by post. So there was a big challenge, and the other areas like where the postal or the other services were not like working because of the people were at home. So we done like in a peak time in our lab, which is in the west London, so roughly 2,000 tests per day at least in a peak time.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a fascinating conversation with Dr. Alpesh Patel from the Hasu Group of Companies. He's an inventor, he is a philanthropist, and he was one of our heroes during COVID. We're going to take a short break and then we're going to come back and ask him a bit more about his charitable ventures. Join us after the break.
चिंगारियां ये जो मेरे सीने में है दफन इनको जरा देखे हवा बन जाऊं मैं अगन चिंगारियां ये जो मेरे
celebrating 9 glorious years of Leica Radio with Cool Cakes Bakery. Cakes for any occasion. Order online at coolcakes.uk or in store across London.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavors with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts, and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
My name is Michael, and I've been a care worker with Stephen for 12 years now. It's been brilliant to support him to enjoy a more independent life. So much so that now he's helping others with learning disabilities.
My name is Stephen. I now coach other people with autism. I don't think I would have the confidence without Michael's support.
Just really admire how he's grown as a person over these years.
Search Care Careers now for a job made with understanding, made with teamwork, made with care.
Showcase Entertainment presents Gary Sandhu live in concert. Come and fall in love on the 21st of February from 6 p.m. at the Beck Theatre, Hayes, with Harpinder Gill, DJ Nish, and hosted by Kajal from Leica Gold Radio. For tickets, contact becktheatre.org.uk or call Ruby Ahuja on 074 05 908 036. Media partners Kismet TV. Radio partners Leica Radio and Leica Gold. Get Leica Mobile's UK plan Mega Plus with a great bundle offer. You'll get 100 gigabytes of data, unlimited UK minutes and text, and 100 international minutes to India and 40 other countries for just £20 for the next 30 days. EU roaming included. Visit leicamobile.co.uk today to buy yours today. T's and C's apply. Leica Mobile.
Sugar and Spice Lounge for the entire family.
Finger-licking Gujarati, Indo-Chinese, North and South Indian, veg and non-veg cuisine.
The ultimate family club. Come relax and watch sports on our large screens.
Book your special passes. Sugar and Spice Lounge opposite Queensbury Station or call 0208 616 0247.
Aao khao piyo jalsa karo. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Conditions apply. Call 0208 6160 247. We have no other branches.
बेटी आई विदेश से जो देख रही है घर को वो अपनों का है प्यार यहाँ इसका घर संसार यहाँ है अनमोल विरासत ये आओ संजोए दौलत ये यही हमारी परंपरा हाथ में थामो इसे जरा इस माला की मोती तुम इसे संभालो बेटी तुम हमारी धरोहर हमारा दस्तूर कोहिनूर
There's help for households. If you've reached state pension age and your weekly income is below £182.60 or £278.70 if you live with a partner, you could be eligible for pension credit, even if you own your home or have savings. If you're eligible, that's worth £3,500 a year on average, and you can get help with heating bills, council tax and more, plus up to £900 in cost of living payments. Search pension credit or call 0800 99 1234. Qualifying income level may be higher in some circumstances.
Devastating earthquakes have hit Turkey and Syria. People need help now. To donate online, search DEC or text radio to 70787 to give £10.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. We've been to Windsor Castle. We're now in West London talking to Dr. Alpesh Patel, the founder of the Hasu Group of Companies, biotechnologist and a product developer and innovator. I've asked this question of a couple of our guests in the past because I find inventions incredible, how people invent different things, especially as far as healthcare is concerned. When you invent things, and you've invented a number of things, you've got 8 patents and you've conducted breakthrough research in gene therapy. Do you set out to find these inventions, or does it suddenly happen to you?
Yes, it is. Basically, I have developed this passion for the science from my childhood. So when I was 7-year-old, I was collecting this battery. So I was collecting these batteries from the garbages. Then I was breaking it down to find out what is it made of. And then I was trying to melt and recover the things using the kitchen earth. So that's how I started the innovations. My biotech skills gear up when I completed my postdoctorate and joined the Breakthrough Research Center in Cambridge from the GlaxoSmithKline. That is related with this gene therapy development. So that's how I started my gene therapy and biotech area.
You're a philanthropist. You've given a lot of money away to very good causes. How do you choose which cause to support? Which enterprise that brings change to people in India is something that is worthy of your money? How do you do that?
So, majority of my philanthropic work I do straight to the disadvantaged people, and I have choose some of these like BAPS and the Anupam Mission charities, which I'm naming here, but these goes straight to the people who are the disadvantages and in education. So I choose when I donate things, so this kind of organizations which is working with the disadvantaged people.
Dr. Alpesh Patel, it has been a pleasure talking to you this morning on Leica Radio, hearing about your contribution during COVID and also about the work that you're doing, the pioneering work you're doing in other areas. There are going to be a lot of people listening to this program. We have a lot of medics, nurses, doctors, healthcare workers who listen to our program on a Sunday morning. What is your message to anyone who is currently trying to join the medical profession? No matter how difficult and tough it's been, the number of applicants for medical places always exceeds by huge numbers the number of places. What's your message to someone starting off on their medical career?
Definitely. So this is very good question. So those who joining in the medical area, we need to work on the preventative healthcare rather than the people go into their disease stage. So there is a vast majority of people who are in the healthy side, healthy region. We have to learn how to keep them healthy for longer period of time. That's what my message is, that keep the people healthier rather than manage them into their disease stage. That's my message.
Alpesh Patel, thank you again for everything that you did during COVID and what you continue to do, not just for the people of West London, but through your patents, what you do for people all over the world, especially for your charitable support for India. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you, Keith, for having me on your program, and best wishes to all listeners of Leica Radio. Thank you.
समझ पाए ना हो, दिल ये समझ पाए ना, दिल को धड़कने की तू ही जरूरत, बिन तेरे जिया जाए ना हो, बिन तेरे जिया जाए ना। देखा करूं तुम्हें देखा करूं, आज जी भर के तुम्हें देखा करूं, मेरी जान ओ मेरी जान। कहता रहूं मैं कहता रहूं, सारी उम्र भर मैं तुम्हें कहता रहूं, मेरी जान ओ मेरी जान। हाँ मुझे प्यार प्यार है तुझी से मेरे यार यार है, तेरे लिए एक बारी जीना हजार बार है। मुझे प्यार प्यार है तुझी से मेरे यार यार है, लिखता रहूं मैं दिन रात ओ तेरी गुजारिशें तेरी सिफारिशें करता हूँ बस तेरी बात सच ही कहूँ हाँ सच ही कहूँ तेरे बिन ना गुजारा अब है मेरा मेरी जान ओ मेरी जान कि मुझे प्यार प्यार है तुझी से मेरे यार यार है तेरे लिए एक बारी ना जीना हजार बार है
On Talking Points, Leica.
Time's up for this week. I hope you enjoyed today's programme. My thanks to Sheena Bathiza and Alpesh Patel for joining us. Special thanks to my researcher Shridula, my producer Rena, and my editor Adam. I don't know whether you know, but this week it was Donut Day in Poland, where the Polish people all have to eat a donut. And that's exactly what my editor has done. His new nickname in the office is The Donut. To end today's programme, we'll be listening to Param Sundari from the film Mimi, which has already had over 438 million views on YouTube. Please stay tuned for the wonderful Sheena, who follows the news on Leica Radio, Britain's greatest Asian radio station. This has been Talking Points on Leica Radio with me, Keith Vaz, broadcasting from London. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday.
बीकानेरी छोकरी संतरे की टोकरी घर तो छुड़वाया अब क्या छुड़ाएगी नौकरी
रोमियो रोमियो